There is a story that simply vanishes from many of the oldest Bible manuscripts. Today it sits quietly in John chapter 8, but in some early copies of the New Testament, it is missing or moved. Why would this one story slide around the text of Scripture like a piece people didn't quite know what to do with? And why does it show Jesus doing one of the strangest things in the entire Bible, writing in dust and saying almost nothing? We are in Jerusalem, early morning. The temple courts are opening like a giant stone heart. People gather around Jesus for what looks like a normal Bible study. He is teaching in the holiest space they can walk into. Then the crowd splits. A group of religious experts push their way forward, dragging a woman like a piece of evidence, not a person. They make her stand in the middle, where every accusing eye can see her. "Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery," they say. They quote Moses: "The law commands that such women be stoned." Then comes the knife hidden inside the question, "Now what do you say?" In the ancient context of the Bible, this is more than a moral question. It is a legal trap set with precision. Under Roman rule, the Jewish leaders did not have full authority to carry out executions. If Jesus says, "Stone her," they can report him to the Romans as a dangerous rebel. If he says, "Don't stone her," they can accuse him of betraying the law of Moses. Either way, the trap springs shut. This isn't about holiness. It is about power. And in that moment of pressure, Jesus does the most unsettling thing possible: nothing. He bends down and starts writing with his finger on the ground. No explanation, no quoted verse, just silence, and letters in dust. The Bible never tells us what he wrote. That silence has bothered readers for centuries. But when you see the biblical background, the mystery is not empty. It is full of echoes. In the Old Testament, God writes his law on stone with his own finger at Sinai. In Jeremiah 17, God warns that people who turn away from him will be written in the earth, like names traced in dust that the wind wipes away. The original Hebrew meaning shows us that to be written in the earth is to be under judgment, to be temporary, to have built your trust on sand instead of on God. So picture the scene again. The leaders stand tall, holding the law of Moses like a weapon. The woman crouches in shame. Jesus kneels at their feet, writing in dust. In the ancient context of the Bible, it is hard not to see Jeremiah here. Maybe Jesus is not exposing her sin, but theirs. Perhaps the names being written in the earth are not the names we expect. They keep questioning him, demanding he speak. Finally he stands up. His answer is almost too simple: "Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." In the law, the witnesses who bring the accusation must throw the first stones. When you see the biblical background, Jesus is not canceling the law. He is forcing the law to pass through the hearts of the accusers. Then he bends down again and writes a second time. 2 times writing, like the 2 tablets of the covenant. 2 silent sermons, drawn in dust instead of ink. John still doesn't tell us the words. Instead, he tells us the only thing we need to see one by one, starting with the oldest. They walk away. The so-called defenders of holiness quietly leave the scene of their own trap. Why did some early Christians seem nervous about this story? In some ancient manuscripts of John, this passage is missing. In others, it is moved to a different place. Most scholars think this story is an early, true memory of Jesus that some copyists didn't know where to put. But it is not hard to imagine why it felt dangerous. A Jesus who exposes religious hypocrisy and refuses to throw stones is hard to control. The story cuts both legalism and simple permissiveness. It comforts the broken and disturbs the comfortable in the same breath. Now only Jesus and the woman remain. He stands up and asks, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" She answers, "No one, sir." And the most dangerous sentence in the story might be this one: "Then neither do I condemn you. Go now and leave your life of sin." Mercy without denial. Truth without public humiliation. Judgment aimed not at a body to be stoned but at a life to be changed. When you see the biblical background, this almost erased story becomes a mirror. The original Hebrew meaning shows us that the ones written in the earth are not the sinners we point at, but the people who trust their own goodness and weaponize God's words. The mystery of the missing words in the dust pushes the question back to us. If your heart were the ground and Jesus wrote on it, What would he challenge? What would he erase? What would he rewrite? So maybe the real reason this story feels dangerous is not because it breaks God's law, but because it reveals how we break it while pretending to defend it. Which part of this story surprises you the most? The missing verse, the vanished accusers, or the final sentence of mercy? If you want to explore more of these unstable stories, check out more videos on this channel that dive into the ancient context of the Bible and uncover the mysteries hiding in the margins of the text.